start things off, we have a couple of speakers here. We have Todd and we have Kate. I asked them to speak about their life experiences and why raising awareness for autism is so important. So if you want to give it up for Todd.
All right. Well, welcome everyone. Can everyone hear me? Yep. Okay. Well, then, it's a great day, a great summer day in Pocatello. I never know whether to wear my Birkenstocks or my mucklucks. So all of you who brave the elements to run in the rain, kudos to you. And those, I guess the 3K is still to come. So run fast. If you run fast enough, you can miss all the raindrops and stay dry. Brittany asked me to come in. My name is Todd DeVries, and I'm with Idaho State University's Disability Services Office. And she asked me to come in and just give you kind of an overview of what autism is and the services that our office can do for students that have that aspect or they live with the spectrum. And then to kind of say, why I think this is important, what you all are doing. So without any more introduction, I'll start with what is autism. And it is most commonly seen or noticed before the age of 3. It's a developmental delay disorder. And there is no one defining sort of characteristic. Sometimes getting a diagnosis can be very difficult and frustrating for parents especially. And it's characterized by a delay, several things, but a delay in language and a delay in acquiring knowledge sometimes, and also some degree of sometimes fixating on an object or a process, and then also some difficulty with social skills. So you might see a child with autism not wanting to be held or cuddled, wanting to play alone, wanting to be left alone. Sometimes you'll see a person repeating back. So I might say good morning, and the student might say good morning, and they're not really responding. They're just repeating the sounds of my voice back, and they will do that over and over. It's kind of interesting. So the three areas that tend to be impacted are in social skills, social interactions with other people, and behaviors. Sometimes you'll see a person rocking or spinning. We're doing those kind of behaviors. And all of those taken together, it's kind of one of those diagnoses that when the evidence is sufficient enough, then you get the diagnosis. Many or most people with autism go on to live pretty average, normal lives. As I said a minute ago, it's very much a spectrum. So you might have somebody with just a very mild symptoms, and they go on to be very, very successful, sometimes very intelligent. And then you have people with more severe manifestations, and they need more supports from society. In our center, we try to provide services. First and foremost, we try to be a friendly place for people to go. I want the students with Asperger's or autism to know that they can come into our office. If they need to sit down, be alone, we'll put them in a quiet place for a little bit. If they need someone to talk to, we try to be there for them. We try to link them up with others who have something on the spectrum, so they have someone to share with. And then we provide specific services. For example, if a professor and a student are having a hard time communicating, we'll go in and provide advocacy and assistance. We will also do, depending on the student, maybe a little extra testing time or some deadline things. Why is this important? I can't say enough how what you do today is like dropping a rock in a pond. Splash, and the ripples go out. And we cannot know what actions we take today, what effects they'll have on people in the future. When I was in 6th grade, being a blind person, it was like, what do you want to do when you grow up? And they never asked me that question because it was like, well, you'll go on Social Security, you'll live in a protected environment, and you won't be much of anything. In 6th grade, I had a teacher tell me about this thing called Run for Your Life. And it was the first person to run 50 miles at the junior high school I was in would get this big prize. Well, somehow I got this crazy idea that I was going to do it. So my course, and I started running 1 mile, 2 miles, 5 miles. Before I knew it, I was the first person in the school to run those 50 miles. That led me to take an interest in swimming. And 3 years later, I was on the U.S. Paralympic team that went to the Netherlands, and we won a gold medal. And 2 years after that, I took third place in the world in the 30-kilometer cross-country ski race for the Paralympics. Those events gave me the confidence to get up here and talk to everybody today. It showed me that I can do that. What people tell me I can't do is a bunch of posh. And I take what they tell me and I say, yeah, right, and I go and do what I want anyway. And so when you meet a person with a disability, when you meet a person with autism, assume competence, assume that they can rather than they can't, and give people the chance to show who they are and what they can do. Thank you very much for coming today.
Okay, and now we will have our second speaker. Kate is actually your student here at ISU, so I thought that'd be really cool to get a student's perspective as well as a professional's perspective. So, Kate.
First off, I just wanted to thank all of you for coming out today and listening to me and Todd speak and helping raise awareness and things. And wanted to give a special thanks out to the sorority for hosting this event and doing this. Like Brittany said, my name is Kate Vilbig. I'm a student here at Idaho State University with Asperger's syndrome. It's a form of high-functioning autism. And today I'm going to talk to you about some of the challenges I faced and some of the people who kind of helped me overcome those challenges and become the person I am today. There's a lot of skills that I feel like kind of an average person has that they take for granted. Like being able to, that an autistic person doesn't, like being able to read body language, for example. That comes into play a lot when you are talking about social interaction and things like that. One thing I'll do is I will ramble on something and not necessarily always recognize when maybe someone's bored with what I'm saying or you need to adjust the conversation accordingly and do that. And I mean, there's a lot of hidden rules too. There's a lot of rules in society, especially conversation-wise. It's very hard for an autistic person to know how to start and maintain and end a conversation. So it makes it very hard when making friends and fitting in, because you talk differently to different people. There's authority figures. You talk differently to people with different genders and religion and things like that. And it makes it really, really hard to figure out those things and put it all together. And that was something that was really hard for me, and especially kind of in a high school setting. I had a kid I looked up to. His name was Tommy, and he did this thing. He would go pimpalicious, and I thought that was what made him cool and everyone liked him. And so, of course, I started doing that, and it didn't really turn out too well for me. And anyway, and then there's organization. You can be super smart in school, but there's only so many times you can use the excuse that you lost your homework or that without it not working anymore. And apparently my idea of a clean room is putting things under the bed and shoving it in a box in the corner. And it's different. My roommate Bryce is back there. He's been a big influence on my life and has helped me out a lot. And he always gets after me about my messy room, and so I wanted to give a special thanks to him. And another big challenge I feel that is really overlooked when it comes to autism is the sensory aspect. A lot of kids are either hypo or hyperacute to a lot of senses, and also too, it's very hard for them to filter out the minute ones. So when in a lecture especially, it's really hard to concentrate and absorb all the information, because not only can I hear the professor, but I can hear everyone in the whole entire room clicking their pencils and breathing and all of the different smells and things. So it becomes very overwhelming, and because of that, it can lead to sensory overload, and that's a really hard kind of thing to understand, because like essentially what happens is you're taking in all of this information and trying to associate associate and put meaning to it, and your brain gets so overwhelmed that from that point on, all of the sights, sounds, smells, and touches, it essentially feels like someone is dragging their nails across the chalkboard. And so it makes it really hard to kind of even fit in socially or in noisy, crowded environments and things like that. And those were just some of kind of the few challenges. Like Todd said, it varies, and a lot of them you can overcome. And there's a lot of misconceptions, I feel like, when it comes to autism. Like, for example, when someone gets a diagnosis or hear the word autism and stuff, like a lot of social things are associated with that, so they say they're more of introverts and they don't really want to go out and make friends. But that's not really the case. It's just they go about it in a different way, and a lot of times because of their struggles and things like that, when they try and make friends and branch out, it's really hard for them to do because they go about it in a way that isn't necessarily normal per se, and it's really hard to fit into those kind of social stereotypes, and so that label, I feel, gets put on there sometimes, and it's not that they don't want to make friends, they just need some help. And another big one too is you'll see a lot of professionals say that they don't have a lot of empathy or sympathy, but the thing is, because of that inability to read body language, I mean, if you think about it, how do you tell when a person is sad? You observe their face, their tone of voice, and their behavior, and you can judge accordingly and act on that empathy and sympathy. And when you don't have that skill, it makes it very hard to do those things. And so that's a big misconception, I feel, because a lot of these kids are really incredibly nice and compassionate, and they do care. And so instead of expecting that and having that expectation that they'll know that from reading the body language and stuff, you could simply say, oh, I'm feeling kind of sad right now, and I just want to be left alone, or I need this. And if in doing that, they can understand that and do those things. And so it's all about expectations. I can tell you that every doctor I went to would have never thought I would have really been where I am today. I mean, I'm starting a higher ed transition program, and I'm really trying to work on raising awareness and making a difference. So these individuals with these kind of struggles can do that, and you'll never know, I mean, how much just showing compassion and being understanding and doing that can make a difference and really get a person to open up. And I guess in conclusion, I would like to say thanks to my mom and my family especially. They're here in the front row today for always believing in me and working super hard to kind of get the services and things I did so I could learn and grow and do that. And I would also like to say thanks to Todd and Bryce Archer. He's my roommate, like I said. He's back there, and he's been a real big influence on my life. Sorry. Anyway, I just wanted to say thanks, and thanks for coming and listening, and hopefully we can make a difference and get more people who are understanding and compassionate to help maximize the potential of all of these autistic individuals, because it's not that they can't do it, you just need to be understanding and really try and just make a difference. Thank you.
Okay, I know we just gave them a round of applause, but I feel like that deserved another round of applause. Stick around, we're going to do a raffle. Do we still have some Kiwi Loco? Yep, there's some.